large hall was packed with people dressed in their best clothes, all there to witness what should have been a joyful day, the wedding of Adanna and Chidi. Beautiful flowers decorated every corner and music filled the air. But as soon as Adanna stepped in, silence fell over the crowd. Adanna was dressed in black instead of the usual white gown. She wore a long black dress shimmering in dim light like something out of a dark tale. Her expression was cold, her face set in stone as she walked slowly down the aisle. Guests murmured, shocked as they watched her approach. It wasn't just the color of her dress that disturbed them, it was the entire aura. She looked like a bride in mourning, or even worse, like someone bringing a curse. Chidi, standing on the altar, felt his heart sink as he saw her. He knew exactly why she had come dressed like this. He thought he had been careful, thought he had planned everything so she wouldn't find out. But now he realized his mistake. She knew everything. Adanna reached the altar and stood before him, her eyes dark and fierce. She leaned close to him, her voice barely above a whisper but filled with anger. "You thought you could betray me, Chidi, after all we did together." Chidi's face turned pale. His hands began to shake as he glanced around, trying to hide his fear. He tried to smile, to act calm for the sake of the crowd, but Adanna wasn't playing along. She raised her hand to silence the priest and turned to face the guests. "My people," she said, her voice steady and cold. "Today is a day of truth. Today I reveal the secrets that brought us here." The crowd gasped. Chidi's heart raced as he realized what she was about to do. He grabbed her arm, whispering urgently, "Adanna, don't do this here." She shook him off, her eyes flashing with fury. "You wanted to break our pact, Chidi. You wanted to walk away and leave me with the weight of our sins alone. Do you think I will let you go so easily?" The guests were shocked, exchanging glances and whispering. They could tell there was something dark hidden behind her words, something they were not meant to know. The story shifts to a few years earlier when Adanna and Chidi first crossed paths. They were both ambitious and hungry for success, but in a town where opportunities were scarce, they found themselves desperate. One night, they met an older man known for his ties to mysterious, powerful forces. He claimed to have the means to make them successful beyond their wildest dreams, but his help came with a price. If you want power, wealth and success, you must be ready to give in something in return, he said, his voice echoing with a strange chilling calm. They followed him to a hidden shrine deep in the forest. Under the light of a full moon, they made a pact, a ritual binding them together in both success and secrecy. The old man had them perform rites, burning pieces of their hair and sealing their promises with drops of their own blood on a sacred cloth. "As long as you're faithful to each other, no harm will come to you," he warned. "But if one of you tries to betray the pact, the consequences will be severe." After the ritual, things started to change. Their lives took a rapid turn for the better. Chidi got lucrative business deals, and Adanna quickly rose to fame and power. They were unstoppable, but as time passed, the weight of the ritual began to creep into their minds like a shadow that wouldn't let go. Despite their success, Chidi began to feel trapped. He wanted to escape the pact, to live his life freely without the looming shadow of their dark ritual. He started to see Adanna not as his partner, but as a chain around his neck, a constant reminder of the pact they shared. Back in the present, Adanna stared at Chidi with eyes full of anger and betrayal. "Chidi, I know you've been planning to leave me. I know about your lies," she hissed. "But remember what the old man said. Breaking our pact will bring ruin. You can't escape it, Chidi. None of us can." Chidi's heart raced. He had tried to find a way out of the pact. He had even consulted spiritualists, even attempted secret rituals to break the bond beyond them. But every time he tried, strange things happened. Unexplainable shadows following him, strange sounds in the night, and the sense of something watching him, something that would not let him go. As Adanna continued to speak, the lights in the hall flickered. The guests grew restless, sensing that something unnatural was in the air. Some even whispered that they could feel a cold breeze pass through, though there were no open windows. "Adanna, please," Chidi whispered, his voice desperate. "We don't have to do this here. Let's talk about this later." But Adanna was done hiding. "You wanted freedom, Chidi. You thought you could escape me and the pact, but today I will show you the price of betrayal." Without warning, she pulled a small cloth from her pocket, the small sacred cloth they had used in a ritual. It was stained with drops of their blood from years ago, a symbol of their binding promise. "Do you remember this?" she asked him, holding it up for everyone to see. "This is the cloth of our pact, our bond, and today I am willing to destroy it if you don't keep your promise." Chidi's face turned white as he realized the gravity of her threat. Destroying the cloth would break the ritual's protection, leaving both of them vulnerable to the wrath of whatever forces they had invoked. He had been told that such an act would unleash unimaginable horrors on them both. The guests murmured in confusion, some of them shifting uncomfortably in their seats, sensing that they were witnessing something far beyond their understanding. Adanna began to shout words in strange and ancient language, the same words they had spoken that night in the forest. Chidi's hands trembled and he stepped forward, trying to stop her, but she held the cloth up high, as if daring him to interfere. "If you take one more step away from me," she warned, "I will tear this cloth and let our sins come for us both." Chidi froze, realizing that he was trapped. If he left her, he would suffer the consequences of breaking their pact, but if he stayed, he would be bound to her forever, a prisoner of their dark past. Adanna's voice softened, but it held a deadly edge. "You thought you could leave me, Chidi. You thought you could escape our bond. But you were wrong. Our fates are tied, and there is no escape."